Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're gonna see what OpenShift Tekton pipeline is, and if you are working with OpenShift or Kubernetes and you are looking for cloud-native CI/CD solution, then Tekton is something you must learn. In this today video, we're gonna see what OpenShift Tekton pipeline is, and we'll deploy some CI/CD sample application. Tekton is a Kubernetes CI/CD framework, and this Jenkins Tekton doesn't need a master agent. Everything Tekton run is a Kubernetes pods that make it scalable, secure, and perfect for OpenShift. Now let's understand some basic Tekton concept. Task, a single unit of work. So if you look at the tasks, a task is a small state of work in Tekton. Each task runs inside its own Kubernetes pod, contain one or more steps. It uses a container image to execute commands. And some example task in like a git clone tasks, which clone source code from Git, and some build test images and deploy to OpenShift. Okay, and tasks are reusable, tasks are independent, tasks do not share data by default. And the second is a workspace with sharing data between the tasks. Why workspace are needed? Because each task runs on separate pod, so each pod has its own file system. Mm, so one task like can go on code, and another task can use the same workspace, and it can get the code and it can build the code. And another task can get the deployed code, and then it can deploy it into the OpenShift cluster or wherever it's want to deploy. Okay, and let's see what the pipeline is. Pipeline is a collection of tasks, or it's a chain of tasks, you can say. And pipeline run, which it's like a trigger where the pipeline will actually run. Okay, so pipeline is which tasks should run, and what in what order they should run, and how data flows between them. And task execution order, Tekton pipeline runs, pipeline. This is like sample. You can see a sample YAML for pipeline run. We'll see sample applications in demo. And we are using an empty directory, which is like it's create a temporary shared storage, and it exists only whenever the lifetime of the pipeline runs, and it will delete it automatically after the execution. So we create a shared data as empty directory. And yeah, these are the key concept. Let's see a diagram here. So there's a diagram which contain a number of tasks in chains, and whenever we trigger the pipeline, then it will run the pipeline task run. So Tekton controller will create a instance of tasks. So each task have its own Kubernetes pods, because for better isolation security, you can say. And Tekton controller will control all the tasks, that it will check that all the tasks will run in order. So basically, Tekton controller will check which task should run, which task should run next, and which task should run in parallel. Now let's deploy some sample application of CI/CD. There's some prerequisites site that you have to follow. OpenShift cluster more than 4 point something, and then cluster admin or sufficient religious. OCCLI should be installed, and basic understanding of Kubernetes concept. To install the OpenShift pipelines Tekton, you should first open the OpenShift web console, then navigate to operators on Operator Hub, then search for OpenShift pipelines. Uh, just go to the catalog logs, software catalogs, and then search for Tekton. Okay, so here's a Red Hat OpenShift pipelines. Now click on install. For me, it's already installed, so I'm not going to install. Once your installation done, you will see our pipelines here on your OpenShift console. Okay, then if you go down in the block, you will find a sample YAML for tasks. Is the complete YAML for task. Just copy this or just paste on the terminal, and then create a file with the role task manifest YAML, and then apply it. So now let me apply the whole task YAML. OC create -f whole task manifest YAML. Okay, let me log in the cluster. So tasks are created. Now create a pipeline. Just run the OC create -f, and then Node.js CI/CD pipeline.yaml. So pipeline is created, and then you have to provide a service account to your pipeline. So service account will actually need for create deployments, create service routes, read write Kubernetes resources, access the OpenShift API, etc. So by default, OpenShift give a pipeline role which doesn't have a to create resources in your OpenShift clusters. You need to provide a permission. Without that, you will not able to create any resources by pipeline. Okay, so you can see permission is added. Now create the pipeline run resource and then apply. OC create OC apply paragraph and not just CCD pipeline run. YAML configured. If you go at the pipeline, slow light pipeline trigger is not triggered yet. Okay, I think I haven't applied. Let me run the applied. Cannot be used to generate name with apply. So let's try create, and the trigger is created. Now it will take some time. If you open the pipeline, you will see a list of tasks. First, it will fetch a source from Git, then build, and then deploy on the OpenShift cluster. In the meantime, let's see the explanation of individual tasks. So this is the task is metadata name is hello world. This is just a simple print hello world on task, and it will take some parameters from here. You can also pass parameters from pipeline as well. I will show later. Okay, and it will some print a date, and it's using this images container images, so it will create an individual pod and running this command. Okay, and workspace is using okay, it does not using any workspace. Okay, so another task is git clone task where there are some parameters, and workspace is using a shared workspace. Okay, I'll show in pipeline, and it's using a image, this minimalistic image. Okay, and these are the commands which is used for git clone source code. And another task is Node.js build test, which just build the dependencies. Okay, after the like build complete, it's using the same shared workspace. And then build push image, like if you want to push image to the registry docker up like something like that, then it will push and build and push. Okay, then another is deploy to OpenShift. So these are the like YAML will manually apply onto the cluster, OpenShift cluster. These are the params, and these are the name of metadata is a kind is a metadata tasks, and service route, all things will be created in OpenShift cluster. So this is not the actual pipeline. This is a simple demo pipeline. It is just for explaining OpenShift Tekton pipeline understanding. Okay, now let's see the pipeline is successfully executed or not. Go to pipeline, so showing the task status is 3 succeeded. So all the 3 tasks is completed. Now let's see the pipeline execution. Pipeline execution is completed. Now, if you can also check the status of pipeline by OCGet pipeline runs and OCGet pipelines. You can see the status is succeeded, and after deployment for pipeline for pipeline run, you can check the deployment and OCGet route. So in my simple application, in my simple CI/CD application, it will deploy a Node.js application and it will create a route. Okay, so this is the route, so I can access it on my browser. It's showing hello world or version 1.0. Why not just app? Okay, uh, now let's see the in UI what are the other things you can do. There's a pipeline section. If you open the Node.js CI/CD pipeline, here you can also, if you go to the action and if you go to the edit pipeline, then you can also add more tasks, and you can add a parallel subtask, or so if you like want to add something within the build test and deploy, then you can also add. Like finally add task, you can search, build, and you can add something like that. Okay, add, then this build push image task will added. You have to provide images in Dockerfile. These are the like parameters you can pass. Select workspace, share data. Okay, it's something like you can do it from the UI. I'm not going to save it, so I clicked on cancel. Pipeline runs parameters. You can also execute your pipeline from here as well. Start trigger pipeline, add trigger, Okay, and these are the tasks. Task run completed, trigger, event listener, trigger bindings, cluster trigger bindings. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today's video. We have seen the overview of Tekton pipelines and Tekton core concept and some sample CI/CD applications. So yeah, if you really like this video, then give a thumbs up, and also let me know in the comment which section or topic you want me to cover. I will cover it. And so yeah, that's it for today's video. I will see you in the another video. Till then, goodbye.